Well, speaking of Donald Trump, he did a Fox News interview with Bret Baier that you saw a little bit of from producer Pat's show yesterday, and round two was broadcasted out or something on Fox News. And so we have more clips from that. And the moment I have for you now is so dang bizarre, stunning, humiliating for Trump, and just a moment on television you don't see too often where Bret Baier poses a very good question to Trump based on something he was bragging about, and Trump just has a complete confused malfunction, as you're about to see. Before I look at that moment with you, this is from USA Today. Donald Trump, pardon recipient, would face the death penalty under his new plan. Part of Donald Trump's record in office, freeing convicts with long prison sentences for relatively minor drug offenses, has run up against one of his 2024 campaign planks, the death penalty for drug dealers. Trump seemed rattled this week when told that Alice Johnson, a high-profile pardon recipient, would be vulnerable to execution under his new criminal justice proposal. Trump said during an interview broadcast Tuesday when Fox News anchor Bret Baier told him that she'd be killed under your plan. And indeed, confusion was gushing out of Trump in this moment after he was told that, as the article noted, Alice Johnson, an individual who was a nonviolent drug offender who Trump pardoned while he was president, under his new proposal that he's been campaigning on of implementing the death penalty for drug dealers, she would be someone subjected to possibly being executed. Take a look.
As an example, a woman who you know very well was in jail. She had 24 more years to serve. She served for 22 years. She had 20.
Alice Johnson.
Alice.
She was in the Super Bowl.
High quality, yeah. I said, how many years? And she was on a telephone call, and they were involved in selling marijuana, mostly marijuana. And she got like 50 years in jail.
But she'd be killed under your plan.
Huh?
As a drug dealer.
No. Under that, it would depend on the severity. It would depend on the severity.
Let's just watch that little part one more time. That's a level of panic that you don't see too often from any of these individuals, but Trump included. Take a look.
Involved in selling marijuana, mostly marijuana. And she got like 50 years in jail.
But she'd be killed under your plan.
Huh?
As a drug dealer.
No. Under that, it would depend on the severity. It would depend on the severity.
She's technically a former drug dealer. She had multi-million-dollar cocaine ring.
Any drug dealer, look.
So even Alice Johnson in that ad.
She can't do it, okay? By the way, if that was there, no, she wouldn't be killed. It would start as of now, so you wouldn't go to the past.
I know, but
So this highlights a couple things. The first being how incorrect of a policy proposal that is. But the second being, and I think we're all very aware of this, even the things he says and he proposes and he promotes, he doesn't understand, care about, or have any actual substantive belief in based on some policy analysis. Come on, as if. And so there, he probably never thought about the fact that on one end, he'll promote the fact that he pardoned nonviolent drug offenders, such as Alice Johnson. And on the other end, he's talking about executing people just like Alice Johnson. And that just there occurred to him based on Bret Baier's questioning. And you saw the confusion that came of it. But indeed, he has been promoting at rallies and elsewhere the idea of the death penalty for drug dealers.
I am calling for the death penalty for drug dealers and human traffickers, which will, upon its passage, reduce drug distribution.
And it once again shows us how everything is for applause. Everything is, how does this play in this given moment? Over here, people kind of liked that I pardoned someone like Alice Johnson, so I'm going to talk about that. And over here, people cheer when I say death penalty for drug dealers. There's no coherence and there's no policy principle. It's just for the applause and for Trump's ego. Here's another example of this.
I'm calling on Republicans and Democrats immediately to get to Washington and institute the death penalty for drug dealers. You will no longer have a problem.
Yeah. So then when those two applause lines contradict, we get the moment that you just saw. Complete and total confusion and panic.
When you're using websites and apps, your device sends out data about you into the open. Who you are, where you go, things you like. That data then gets sold around for advertising purposes, which is why every time I connect to the internet, I use a VPN to hide my IP address. And our sponsor, Private Internet Access, is the most trustworthy VPN on the market. It's the only VPN that has proven multiple times in court they don't log your activity. Private Internet Access protects you from the prying eyes of hackers, your internet service provider, tech companies. Private Internet Access is also super fast for streaming and for downloads. You can watch your favorite streaming platforms as if you're in another country, like the UK, to access cool new content. And with just one account, you can protect unlimited devices all at the same time. This is really a game changer. Private Internet Access is giving my audience 83% off. That's $203 a month plus 4 months free. Go to piavpn.com/Pacman. The link is down below.